What an exciting tournament we've had so far. So yes, the Euros are well underway now, and I must say I'm feeling the Euro fever. I think the tournament has been phenomenal so far. Loved all of the games that I've watched, and I've watched most of them unless they involved England. And yeah, it's just been a really good tournament, and it's really rekindled my love for international football, because while the World Cup had some good games, that's really all it had. But the Euros has the good games with some brilliant football, and it's got the fan culture as well that was sorely lacking in the World Cup, and it is phenomenal. What a tournament, man. I love the Euros. The round of 16 is upon us, and as I did with the group stage, I'm going to do my predictions. This is how my group stage ties went. This is my predictions. This is how they actually went. Honestly, I didn't do too badly. There were some teams which surprised me, to be fair, like Austria. They were surprising. Turkey as well surprised me. I wasn't surprised by Scotland, I must say. But yeah, we're just going to jump into the round of 16 ties. And the first one we're going to look at is Spain versus Georgia. Spain comfortably topped their group as they won all three of their group stage fixtures with very little issues throughout. They were the only side that didn't concede a single goal during the group stage. They'd qualified so comfortably that by the time they had their third fixture, they could play their reserves, and while it wasn't as comfortable of a win, it was still a win and another clean sheet maintained. Very sad for Albania. I wish they went further, but we all knew that was coming really. I think Spain are rapidly becoming favourites for a lot of people, and even more so than before the tournament. I know a lot of people were bigging them up, but we've seen very dominant performances from them so far, so I think a lot more people are going to be supporting them, well, backing them to win, maybe not supporting them. This is Georgia's first international tournament, and they're making the most of it. They've been one of my favourite teams to watch, as Georgia will always put on a good show, and they did so here. They beat Portugal 2-0 to top the best of the third place team's group, which was very impressive. That game, probably my favourite game of the tournament. Not gonna lie, I love watching Georgia play football. Like I said, they've been putting in some brilliant performances, and I just enjoy watching them play. Spain are one of the strongest sides in this tournament, and when they play at their full strength, they can probably beat any team here, which is a good sign if you're in a knockout tournament. But I don't think Georgia are a side that we can really count out either, and that can be seen in their group stage performances. Yes, they didn't grab all the results they needed, they finished third in their group, but I don't think anybody expected them to beat Portugal. Yet, here we are, and they did so with some ease, to be fair. However though, and I'm sorry to say this, my Georgian friends, but I do think Spain will win this clash. I'm not just counting Georgia, don't get me wrong, they're definitely a capable side, and knockout football can throw up some very interesting upsets, but at the moment, I think Spain is just a bridge too far. I would love to see Georgia's fairy tale tournament continue, but I think Spain will be the ones to put an end to that. They're just looking too good at the moment, and it will take a very special team to knock Spain off their perch. So yeah, backing Spain, although I would like to see Georgia do it. And then we move on to Germany versus Denmark. The hosts comfortably topped their group, only dropping points against runners-up Switzerland. I'm sure many of us predicted that Germany would end up finishing top of their group, and they did so with some relative ease. They started the tournament very strongly, putting 5 past goal on the opening night, scoring 6 goals overall, and that was a very good game to open the tournament too, I will admit. I enjoyed watching that, and that's Scotland and Germany playing. The Nagelsmann revolution is continuing to work wonders for Germany, and has further boosted their claim to be one of the favourites for this tournament. It's really night and day between them at the World Cup and the team here. Füllkrug and Musiala have been cooking, 2 of their stand-up performers in my opinion, and is it too early for a Füllkrug Golden Boot shout? He is their joint top goal scorer, so, I said it here first. If that's what happens, you heard it here first, boys. Denmark did better than I expected, but performances weren't exactly brilliant. They didn't grab a single win in the group stage, drawing each of their 3 fixtures, but with the extreme boredom of Group C, that was enough to progress. It was a brilliant story to see Eriksson mark his Euros return with a goal in the opening game against Slovenia, especially after going down on the pitch in the Euro 2020. Seeing his return was just phenomenal. Denmark weren't a brilliant side, to be fair, but did secure second over Slovenia due to having a better disciplinary record, having picked up 1 less yellow card. Denmark haven't really shown me that they have enough to trouble Germany, let alone beat them. I think Germany have played quite well throughout this tournament, and despite taking their foot off the gas in their final game against Switzerland, are one of the strongest teams in this tournament. They'll cause Denmark quite a few issues here, and I'm backing Germany to progress. It might not be a 5-goal thriller, or a 6-goal thriller I could say, but Germany would get the job done, I've no doubt about that. And then we move on to Portugal versus Slovenia. Portugal will play Slovenia as they topped their group, but it wasn't as comfortable as you may have thought. The Portuguese got off to a comfortable start, winning their first two fixtures quite comfortably before hitting a Georgia-shaped roadblock. By the time of that fixture though, Portugal were already confirmed to have qualified, so they didn't really have to win, but probably should have. And honestly, with the immense quality their squad possesses, it was expected they qualified, so at least they did that, and at the top of their group no less. Slovenia squeaked through as the fourth best third place team after grabbing 3 draws from Group C, only scoring 2 goals in the process. They did only concede twice though, to be fair, so yeah, they've got that going for them. I don't think much to be gleaned from Slovenia's group stage performances, as that whole group just wasn't great and disappointing, really. I can't really say they've impressed. Šeško did not light up the tournament like many of us expected, but there's a good player in there, so if there's any game he's going to switch it on, it'd be against Portugal. I think Portugal will win this clash and look to put that defeat toward Georgia behind them. As I've said, their squad is chock full of quality, so shouldn't have that much trouble bringing down Slovenia. I do expect the Slovenians to put up a good display though, and minimise what the Portuguese can do. Honestly, I'm sensing another Ronaldo blank. He just can't do it in international tournaments. Slovenia will look to make things tough for Portugal, but I can't see that lasting the 90, and I do expect Portugal to progress. And then move on to France versus Belgium. Tournament favourites France faced Belgium as both teams disappointed in their groups. France finished second in their group as they only won one of their 3 fixtures, drawing the other 2. I thought France were locked in at the top of what I didn't see as a competitive group, but here we are. They didn't put up strong performances as they probably should have, given the quality of their side. There seems to be a running theme with France recently. Their Euros campaigns have not been great, whereas they soar in the World Cup. I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but they did really well in last World Cup, almost winning it, and now they're just not playing well in the Euros again. Even a massive Mbappe didn't cook. Belgium also underperformed as they too finished runners-up in their group. Much like their opponents, they only won one of their matches, but unlike France, they actually lost one of their fixtures as well, as they failed to beat Slovakia. It's been a rocky tournament so far for Belgium, and against France, it doesn't look like things are going to get any easier. I'm backing France to progress here. Belgium haven't really shown that they can beat these stronger opponents, and I do reckon they'll struggle against this French side. To be fair though, this isn't a France side that's on the top of the game either. These are 2 national team sides that aren't operating at the levels that you should expect, but France should be the better side, and they still look like the better side of the 2, and they should be the ones that progress. But like I said, this is international football, anything can happen, but I'm backing France here. And then we move on to Romania versus the Netherlands. We go from 2 underperformers to an overperformer, as Romania face the Netherlands. Romania topped their group with the exact same points as second, and third, and fourth. They emphatically won their first match against Ukraine before going on to drop points in their other 2 fixtures. They had the superior goal difference thanks to that emphatic victory, and that saw them secure their spot at the top of the group. The Netherlands could also have been said to underperform, as it only progressed as one of the best third place teams. Again, they're a side that is full of quality, and only qualifying in third place spot is not what you'd expect from a side like the Netherlands. This clash really has me thinking, because either side could take it. Romania are definitely the underdogs here, as when you put them side by side with the Netherlands, the Dutch are much stronger. But Romania have shown that they can play some good football, and they have a guy with blue hair in their team, which is crazy, but he has been cooking, so what do I know? I do think that despite the good football Romania have displayed, I'm going to have to back the Netherlands to progress here. I think the Dutch do have the better squad, and despite the performances in the groups, we would take the game to the Romanians, and overall, I think they can beat them. Yes, Romania have performed well, but from what I've seen, they just don't have enough to beat these sides, these better teams. I mean, they did lose to Belgium after all. I'm backing the Netherlands to win this clash, although I'd love to see a Romanian upset. That would be phenomenal. And then move on to Austria versus Turkey. Austria played Turkey as they topped their group in a very unexpected fashion. Ralf Rangnick has turned around this team's fortunes and has got them playing some really good football. Honestly, as an English-based football fan who knew nothing of Rangnick before his time at Manchester United, this is quite shocking, but I've come to learn that, he's actually quite a solid coach, so fair play, Ralph. They had a slow start, losing their first group stage match, but turned things around winning their final 2 matches in quite impressive fashion, scoring 6 goals in the process. I'd say they look like the most informed team at the moment, to be honest. Turkey also did pretty well as they finished second in their group, level on points with leaders Portugal. This is the Turkey that everyone thought they'd see in 2020. The real underdogs have woken up. We're not going to talk about Hungary, okay? Turkey were looking good in the group stage, with their only loss coming to Portugal, but they were also playing some good football throughout the campaign and reaped the rewards. While Turkey have a lot of good players at their disposal, I can't see them being able to beat this Austrian side. Under Rangnick, the Austrians look very well drilled and play some brilliant football. I'm backing the Austrians to progress here, and they're probably going to do it in very emphatic fashion once again. And then we move on to England versus Slovakia. England play Slovakia as they top the group with one of the worst displays I've seen from a side considered favourites. There is so much I could say about this absolute terrorism ball that we've been seeing in this tournament, and I might make a video on it, but yeah, the football Southgate's decided to play has just been awful. But you know, I'm going to stop myself here. This is a round of 16 video, not an England bashing video, so you may see that in the near future. We got lucky with the group and our draw here. England topped their group but only scored 2 goals in the process. It's been very negative attacking football. Some of the best attackers in the world and only 2 goals. Brilliant. The team doesn't really look like a team. Slovakia finished 3rd in their group, level on points with the rest of the group, and progressed as the 3rd best 3rd place team. They played some decent football so far, and if England play the same style they have been, they're probably going to have if England play the same style of football they have been throughout the tournament, then Slovakia will probably have an easier time than they expected. All that being said though, I'm backing England to progress. Yes, the football we've been playing has been shit. There's no way about that. But we have players who can play better, and I hope that not only the reaction to our group stage performances, but also just their desire to play good football can turn the team around, and hopefully Southgate sees some sense, but I know I'm clutching at straws with that one. It'll probably be by a single goal margin, but I do see England progressing. But oh my god, if we back pass as much as we've done in these group stages, I might jump out of a window. Being an England fan is tough in this tournament because we should be playing well and we're just not. But I am backing us to progress. And finally, Switzerland versus Italy. Switzerland play Italy as both teams finished runners-up in their respective groups. The Swiss came runners-up to Germany, winning 1 and drawing 2 of their matches. They emphatically beat Hungary before having respectable performances against Germany, and the less said about the Scotland game the better, because they should have won that. They've been playing some decent football and could give many teams a run for their money, as was seen in their impressive draw with Germany. Italy actually performed worse than their opponents, coming runners-up to Spain with 1 win, a draw and a loss to their name, 1 for each of the colours of the Italian flag. It was ultimately quite an easy group for the Italians, with the Spanish being their only real competition. Rest in peace Albania. Looking at their squad, I would have expected Italy to perform better than they did though, but they did progress at the end of the day, which is all that matters. This feels like quite a tough one to call. You know, both teams look very even on paper and the performances kind of level each other out. But I think I'm going to back Italy in this one. Neither side is really filled with much confidence, but I think Italy are looking like the better side overall. That is despite their group stage performances. Switzerland could easily progress over the Italians. I wouldn't put it past them to do so. They've got some brilliant talent and have played some good football as well. But I do think Italy have what it takes to overcome their Swiss neighbours. So yes, those have been my round of 16 predictions. If you have any of your own, please do leave them down in the comments below. I'm probably huffing a lot of copium as an England fan, but I still think we'll win the tournament. But yes, I've been O2GT. Hope you have a brilliant rest of your day. Hope you've enjoyed the Euro tournament as much as I have. And also, to be fair, Copa America's been throwing up some good matches as well, but we don't talk about that. Anyway, have a brilliant rest of your day. Hope your team does well in the tournament, unless you're not England. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.